So, when can the police legally stop and search you? Look, roughly 3,000 police stop and searches are carried out in the UK every day. But only around 12% of those searches actually lead to arrests, and therefore around 9 in 10 stops prove no evidence of criminal activity. So, you need to understand when a search is allowed and when it isn't, so that you can better protect yourself from potential abuses of police power. Police powers are massively overestimated in this country because people are not getting taught about them. But as always, that's where I come in. I think it's about time now people learn firsthand their basic legal rights and how to deal with officers abusing that power. That's why in just the next 7 minutes, I'm going to teach you the sole circumstances when a police officer can stop and search you, followed by the exact script of everything you should say to protect yourself, the specific things you should never say, and exactly what to do if you believe that you have been subject to an illegal stop and search. As always, it's me, Cal, your personal pocket-sized lawyer, here to educate people on their basic legal rights. Welcome back to the channel. Let's get straight into it. Now, in the UK, police officers are granted certain powers to stop and search individuals under a variety of different laws that I won't bore you with now, but the most common authority comes from the Police and Criminal Evidence Act. The underlying principle here under this law is something called reasonable suspicion. You probably have already heard of this, and that means that an officer must have concrete, objective reasons to suspect you might be involved in criminal activity or that you are carrying something illegal, such as drugs or weapons or stolen property. If an officer stops and searches you, they should clearly explain under which power they are acting, what they are looking for, and why they have that suspicion. I'll repeat that sentence as I need that to stick in. It forms the basis of our defense. If an officer stops you and searches you, they should clearly explain under which power they're acting, what they are looking for, and why they have that suspicion. So let's now look at the specific circumstances under which the police can lawfully stop and search you. So number one then, reasonable suspicion of criminal activity. As I alluded to before, an officer can stop and search if they believe, based on objective evidence, that you are involved in criminal activity. An example would be if you are walking in a high crime area at night and your behaviour seems suspicious, for example, you're loitering or acting erratically, then they might have grounds for a search. The second circumstance is under specific laws. So under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, as I mentioned before, officers can search for weapons, drugs, stolen items, or evidence relating to an offence if they have a reasonable suspicion of involvement. They can also search you under the Terrorism Act. Under the Terrorism Act, they have a much wider scope to search individuals in designated areas or events if there is actual concern about terrorism-related activities. And finally, the police can search you under a law called the Criminal Justice and Public Order Act, but this power can only be used in a specific area for a limited time if there is an imminent risk of serious violence or disorder. And police don't need to establish reasonable suspicion under this law. So, okay, to summarize for you really simply, there are 3 main laws under which you can be stopped and searched by the police. Number 1, the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, where they require reasonable suspicion. The Terrorism Act, which is much broader. And thirdly, to prevent imminent risk of violence. Now, I want to make clear very quickly the circumstances when the police cannot stop and search you, and therefore where you should protest. So let's look at number 1, a lack of reasonable suspicion. So if an officer stops you and can't provide you with any concrete evidence or give you any facts suggesting that you are involved in criminal activity, then that stop is unlawful. For example, if you are simply walking down a busy high street and an officer stops you solely because of your appearance or based on a racial stereotype, that's very clearly a breach of your rights. Number 2, random stops or arbitrary stops. So the law prohibits stops based solely on an officer's hunch or discriminatory profiling. There is a strict requirement that stops and searches must be based on objective criteria, not subjective criteria or personal biases or assumptions. And number 3, inappropriate uses of powers. Now this one is important. Take note of this. Even if an officer does have some reasonable suspicion, the search must be conducted in a manner that respects your rights. For example, if the search becomes overly or unnecessarily invasive or is conducted in a public setting where your dignity is compromised, this could be grounds for a complaint. And number 4 then is failure to provide information. So remember, you are entitled to certain information from an officer before they begin any search. If an officer stops you but fails to provide on request their name, badge number, and the legal basis for the search, this can render the search unlawful. You are entitled to know why you're being searched. You're entitled to know by who and under which power. Remember that. Now, with the law out of the way, I'm going to go into what to do if a search is being conducted unlawfully. But remember, if you believe a stop and search was carried out on you unlawfully, you have the right to file a complaint with the Independent Office for Police Conduct or your local police department after the encounter. There is a link to this page below in my description. Now let's get to the fun part, which is exactly what you need to say to police officers who are overstepping their boundaries. So number one, stay calm and polite. Not always easy, but I'll tell you the advantage. Police officers deal with confrontational and abusive people all the time. If you act that way, they will make it more difficult for you. They will try to slap you with obstruction charges or disorder charges. Being polite and knowledgeable will cause them to step back and approach with more caution. Number two, ask, under what power are you stopping me? This initial question will put the officers on the back foot and set the tone of the rest of the exchange. This question forces the officer to articulate the legal basis for the search and can sometimes clarify if the stop is lawful or unlawful. Remember, if it's under the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, if they fail to provide you a suitable objective reasoning or reasonable suspicion, remind them that this may be an unlawful search. Number three, ask for identification. Could I please see your license or warrant card? This helps you verify that the officer is indeed in a position to carry out that search and further shows your knowledge of your legal rights. Number four, cooperate but warn. You don't need to go into the details to defend yourself. Simply explain to them that you are happy to cooperate, but that you are aware of your rights and of their obligations under the law. If they are acting unlawfully, from what I have taught you before, tell them that they have not yet satisfied the legal requirements for a stop and search, that the search is unlawful and so it's any evidence that they obtain from that search, and that you will file a complaint with the Independent Office for Police Conduct, as I mentioned before, or your local police department. I can assure you that if you do those four things that I've just mentioned, you'll get a very different response than if you were to get angry or defensive or spend forever trying to explain your situation. Now, also, here are two very quick things you must not do in this situation. Do not argue or get confrontational. Such confrontations can escalate into further charges, as I said. And number two, don't volunteer any extra information. Stick to basic identification and only answer what is asked of you to the minimum level of disclosure possible. Don't provide any additional details that may be used against you. Now, very quickly, if the stop and search should ever lead to an arrest, whether it's illegal or legal, this stage of the process is absolutely critical, and you need to be aware of the exact procedure to follow if you are ever arrested, because it can define whether or not you get charged, or if you do something without realizing it to make the situation worse. Now, I've got a video on exactly this topic where we go over the essential do's and don'ts if you are ever arrested, which can and does happen to people, and all under 8 minutes. So take a look here and in the description below to learn about that. So guys, with all the basic information out of the way, let's summarize quickly what we know so we can answer the big question. When can the police stop and search you? Remember, officers must have a reasonable suspicion or be acting under a specific statutory power. They must also provide you with clear information about the power under which they are operating. As for when they cannot stop and search you, it's if there is no reasonable suspicion or if the search is conducted arbitrarily or in a discriminatory way. Remember, you have the right to know why you are being stopped. As for what to say during a stop and search, remember, stay calm, stay polite, ask for the officer's identification and the legal basis for the search. Do not argue or provide extra information beyond what is necessary. That could be used against you. And if you are stopped illegally, remain compliant for your own safety. Note down all the details, all their information, and file a complaint with the appropriate authority. Seeking legal advice is also key if you believe your rights have been seriously violated. Now, before I say goodbye, guys, I do really want to hear from you on this topic. As I said before, please do get down in the comments below and let me know and hear your thoughts and experiences on police stop and searches. Remember, understanding your rights during a stop and search not only helps protect you, but also promotes accountability within our policing system. So the next time that you are stopped, remember, it's okay to ask questions and to assert your rights. Also, if you have liked or learned anything of value from this video that I've made for you, don't forget to subscribe. I put a lot of effort into creating these educational videos to teach people their basic legal rights, and I would love to continue to do that. Remember, though, this content is educational and isn't a substitute for personalized legal advice. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.